I'm Corrine Holmes. I'm here representing Mendel Lake Baptist Association and Crucified Life Ministry. I am so anxious for all of you to meet my friend Elaine Briefman. Elaine is going to be my keynote speaker for this year's Women Gathering at Camp Cazadero, and the dates for that are May 10 through 13. Greg responded to an email that you had posted. Tell me about that.
Well, I had been recently coming into town and was trying to connect with the various pastors in the area just to give them support and kind of get a feel for what was happening in the churches in our area. So I sent out a letter to all the pastors just letting them know who I was and what I did and if there was any way that I could be of support to them. And Pastor Greg did reply to that letter.
Yeah, and he responded and decided that we were going to take Elaine to lunch. The whole time I'm sitting there, and we have just talked about this a few minutes ago, is God kept saying, ask her. Ask her what? Ask her to be the keynote speaker for the gathering. I don't even know her, God. But then when Greg got up to go in to pay our bill, I looked at Elaine and I approached her with that. And she said, I'll pray about that. Well, the rest is history, because I know that God has chosen you to bring a message of hope and encouragement to the ladies in our association and beyond. So, Elaine, what are you going to be speaking about?
Well, the overarching theme is going to be intimacy with Jesus.
Amen.
And really getting to know him in a deeper level than maybe we've not had the opportunity to do before. And spending a little bit of time really on our own personal journey and our relationship with God in a way that allows us to be authentic with ourselves. And that's something that we don't genuinely get an opportunity. Most of the times in church functions, we're discussing things on a more global scale, and we can be too embarrassed or afraid to share on a personal level. And because of my own personal story, it gives people the freedom to then also talk about their personal story.
Yeah. So speaking of that personal story, how did you get from what you went through to who you became now today? Because that's quite a leap.
It is very true, and my story starts off a little bit rough, but it ends well. And I think there was like a determination when I had an encounter with God and came to that salvation.
How old were you when you
I was 22.
Okay.
I was 22, and being able to just seeing what happened in my own life and the revelation that, wow, my relationship with God's supposed to be personal, and it had no concept of what that was like. And really just a determination to say, what does that look like in its fullness if I continue to say yes and be obedient to God? And through that experience, I've really understood that success in my life, in my call, is obedience to God, and that he will bring the fruit.
Amen. And to have the courage, something that I found out in my walk is having the courage to step out and trust God, and in doing so, I've experienced a lot of healing, spiritually, emotionally, and physically, because of that courage to step out. And I think that's one of the things I'm really praying about for this gathering this year, is to approach these women that we love deeply and give them this courage, this information that they can just sit back, let go, and let God have them and see what he will do with their lives.
Yes, absolutely. I think that the authenticity is a portion of something that we're all seeking. Can I be authentic and still be accepted? And being able to afford that opportunity to ladies, especially in this era, is so valuable. And we're really hoping that you'll take advantage of that.
I hope so too. It's going to be broken up into, I believe, about 5 sessions possibly. What do you have planned during those sessions?
Well, I'm glad that you asked, because it's going to be really quite a journey. And that's the way I like to talk, is to bring people through even story-like. And I want you to know that there will be humor involved in there too.
Yay.
So we'll be going on a journey really of your own personal intimacy, and then looking at your understanding of the character of God, and then moving into how that relationship with God really looks today in today's culture, and even maybe some forgiveness issues.
That would be wonderful. We all need that forgiveness. So thank you for joining me today, Elaine.
Thank you for having me.
See you soon.
Alrighty.